guys! So it has been quite a while since I made a YouTube video. A lot has been happening in my life, so I've been pretty busy, but I miss making videos. I always say that when I make a video after not making a video. But anyway, I thought that this would be a really good opportunity to help out the YouTube community with a video that is rarely made. You see a lot of the processes being done, but you never see the aftermath or quite details that I really worried about. So I thought I would make a video helping out people since it's really been, worrying me a lot, and I'm going on, tomorrow will be day 4 of the process. So I'm making a video on the aftermath of getting a nose piercing. There it is. Super cute. It's still a little red. I got it 3 days ago on a whim. Didn't make an appointment. I know people that own a piercing / tattoo parlor. I know the manager really well, and I know the owners. So I decided to go ahead and get it done. It's something I've wanted since I was 12. Of course, I'm not going to get a nose piercing as a 12-year-old, but I mean, nowadays younger girls are getting this stuff done, but I wouldn't want to get it done that young, nor would I probably want my daughter to get it done that young, or son, when I have kids. But everybody is entitled to their own opinion, so, younger people are getting it done earlier and earlier, which makes me glad that I'm making this video, because it's very important to take care of something such as a piercing or piercings. This is so out of the box for me to get something like this done. So like I said, I got it done 3 days ago. My tattoo / piercing parlor, you do not have to have an appointment. You do have to fill out and sign a waiver. You have to be 18 years or older, or or have a parental or guardian's consent. So if you are under 18 in the state of Virginia, you have to have your parents' permission, which means their signature with them there. So I did not need that since I'm 21. So I filled out the paperwork. I went by myself. It was a very last-minute decision. I was actually sitting right there watching TV, watching The Walking Dead, which I'm watching right now. And I said, I really want to do something outside of the box for the new year. So I walked out my door and I went there. Now, at this tattoo / piercing parlor, it is very clean, very professional, very nice people. It was $10. $10 any piercing above the belt, which is gross to think about. But hey, if you're into that kind of stuff, good for you. So it's $10 above the belt. Yeah, the only thing I have pierced, and I don't even have earrings in, I just have my one hole in each ear. And now I have my nose pierced, and I really like it. I can't stop looking at it. But yeah, so my experience. We'll start with my experience. I walked in, filled out the paperwork, like I said, signed the waiver, because they're not responsible for anything that happens to you after you sign that waiver and after you get your piercing. So if you get an infection and you go to the hospital, it's not their fault. I was waiting, super nervous. At this point, my nerves were shot. Eat before you go. It's not because it hurts when you're, well, I'll get into that in a little bit, but it's not because of your piercing. It's my nerves got so shot after that. The whole rest of the day, excuse me, I did not want to eat at all. I just couldn't stomach any food because my nerves had ruined my appetite for the rest of the day. So I'm sitting there, and a bunch of people are getting tongue piercings. There was a lot of people in front of me, but they just open all that stuff really fast. So then it was my turn. I was by myself, but there were these really nice people these nice girls that were talking me through it. So I sit down, he marks it. It was so fast. I can't even honestly remember what the process was because I was so nervous. I remember him clamping me. He told me to breathe in, and they pierce you when you breathe out. And I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt pretty badly, and I have a high pain tolerance. It did hurt pretty badly as the needle was going in. Your nose cartilage is connected to your tear ducts, so it makes you cry. I cried a little bit more than what it would if you didn't cry. But once the needle was in, it was fine. Didn't hurt at all. Walked out the door, no pain. No pain afterwards. The only thing was when I would flare my nostrils, it would hurt slightly. And that's what I was saying. When I would eat, my nose would flare and it would kind of hurt. So I didn't eat the rest of that day, which isn't a big deal. You know, next day you can eat. So they give you this stuff if you buy it. It's sea salt spray, just sea salt, water in a can. You're supposed to soak a cotton ball, put that on it, and you can also use a Q-tip to go around it. Never, ever, ever pick off the crust. I haven't experienced any crust, so I don't know what it looks like, but it's only day 3, so I don't know. And then I read in the pamphlet they gave me, they should either tell you or give you a pamphlet on the aftercare. But I think that these videos are really helpful because it comes from a personal experience, and it kind of helps you just know what's gonna happen. So it didn't hurt when I slept. Because, you know, I don't really sleep downwards into the pillow, so I didn't bang it. Even when I would, like, it's day 3, it's still pretty tender, but I can do this and this. Don't ever touch it. I don't care what you're doing. Don't ever put your hands on it unless you have sterilized, cleaned, and washed your hands and you're washing the piercing. I have heard too many horror stories about these bumps that you can get on your nose where the piercing is that makes me just never want to touch it. I have touched it on the inside, and don't ever pick your nose. I know that sounds gross, but you know, sometimes in the morning I use a tissue and I pick my nose, you know, to get the boogies out so I don't, you know, have a bunch of boogies in my nose during the day. But don't do that. Just leave it. I haven't experienced any bad problems. Sneezing. Nothing happens. I freaked out the first time I sneezed because I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Nothing. Nothing happens. You just sneeze. I don't usually blow my nose, so I don't know that experience. But you know, I mean, it's pretty tender when I do this on that side, but you know, and it's still a little red. But it's only day 3, so the redness isn't gonna go away right away. Let me think. So yeah, the other way to clean it is Dial Gold Bar. It's their original soap bar. You wash your hands first. Always wash your hands first. Lather the soap in your hand. And I have touched it while I'm cleaning. Some people just say pat the foam on it. I don't see that as helping clean it. So I actually very gently rub around the piercing. I get some soap, stick it up my nose, clean the inside. That's another thing. Every video I've watched, no one ever talks about cleaning the inside. So I'm erring on the side of caution and cleaning the inside. I use the sea salt spray on a Q-tip, stick it up my nose, gently rub it. I even, with my hands clean, I'll stick my finger up my nose, push the piercing out a little bit, go under the piercing. I have not experienced anything bad by doing these things. I let water hit it in the shower. Doesn't hurt. Again, in the shower. I have been cleaning it, let's see, I clean it with Dial soap in the morning. I usually do 2 to 3 sea salt soakings, spraying the sea salts on it a day, and then I do the Dial again at night. I'm trying not to over clean it because they say over cleaning it will cause infection. Some bacterias are good for it. From what everybody says, this is going to be a long piercing healing process, which after I found that out, I was a little disappointed because I'm really OCD about some things, and I'm probably going to let this heal way longer than I need it to before I change it out, because I don't want anything happening to my nose. And I'm not trying to scare you guys, I just want you to know this is, I think, more of a serious piercing than most. It doesn't, it's not one that hurts the most, but yeah, I think people just don't take taking care of piercings seriously enough, which they should, because I have seen a lot of people either not taking care of the piercing enough and putting a horror story on YouTube, or not taking care of it enough and they have to take it out because it's infected. Oh, and I